Hello everyone. Today we're diving into the moment when Tu Na, newly pregnant and told to avoid all stress, is suddenly caught between a company scandal targeting CEO Alex and the shocking arrival of her ex-husband's family at the farm gate. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next episodes. The morning started with something so small, Alex almost missed it. Tu Na stood at the sink in the little farm kitchen, rinsing rice. Steam from the kettle fogged the tiny window. She'd been feeling lightheaded since dawn, that odd mix of nausea and hunger twisting in her stomach. When she bent down to pull a pot from the lower shelf, the room tilted for a second. "Am on Kong?" Alex asked, catching the way her hand grabbed the edge of the table. "I'm just a little dizzy," she tried to smile. "Probably because I didn't get enough sleep last night." But when he suggested a quick stop at the commune clinic Cho Yen Tum, she didn't argue. That alone told Alex enough. At the clinic, the walls were the faded green of every rural waiting room. A fan rattled weakly overhead. Henry sat on Alex's lap, babbling at the posters, while Tu Na disappeared behind a curtain with the doctor. Alex tried to focus on Henry, but his eyes kept drifting to the closed door. He could handle contracts, machines, storms, truck delays, but anything involving the words "backseat" and Tu Na turned his brain into white noise. The curtain finally rustled. The doctor, a middle-aged woman with kind but sharp eyes, gestured for Alex to come closer. "Are you her husband?" she asked. Alex nodded, his throat dry. "Yes, I'm her husband." The doctor smiled slightly. "Congratulations to you both. It's still early in the pregnancy, but the fetal heartbeat is already clear. The mother is slightly anemic and has slightly low blood pressure. It's not serious, but you should pay attention." The words hit Alex in pieces. Congratulations. 1 week pregnant. Fetal heartbeat detected. For a second, all he could do was stare at Tu Na, sitting there on the examination bed with her hands folded over her stomach, eyes lowered, cheeks flushed. Henry kicked his leg, impatient for attention, dragging Alex back into the moment. "Doctor," he managed, "so, does my wife need to follow any strict dietary restrictions?" The doctor's expression turned serious. "The most important thing now is to avoid stress. Absolutely avoid stress. Her blood pressure is unstable, and added anxiety could easily cause it to drop, leading to dizziness or even fainting. She needs to eat regularly, get enough sleep, avoid overthinking, and not let anyone disturb or pressure her." She glanced at Tu Na. "Whatever is keeping you awake at night, you have to tell your husband. There's no more trying to get used to it. This initial stage is no laughing matter." On the motorbike ride back to the farm, Alex drove slower than usual. The road was still the same. Cassava fields, dusty bends, the old eucalyptus tree. But everything looked different now, outlined in a fragile glow only he could see. "You," he called over the wind. "The doctor said that earlier. Are you scared?" Tu Na leaned against his back, one arm wrapped around his waist, the other holding Henry in front. "I'm not afraid," she answered softly. "I'm just worried about whether I can hold on. This time I don't want to disappoint you." Alex's fingers tightened on the handlebars. "There's no way you'll disappoint me. I'm only afraid that someone else will tire you out." He didn't know that, at that exact moment, his name was already starting to climb the trending list on a few business forums in the city. By the time they reached the farm, Alex's phone had buzzed 5 times. He ignored it at first. Work could wait until Henry finished his nap, and Tu Na lay down like the doctor ordered. But when the sixth call came in, buzzing nonstop, he checked the screen. "Miss Lan?" He stepped just outside the door so his voice wouldn't travel into the room where Henry was playing with his wooden truck, and Tu Na was folding tiny clothes. "Listen," Alex said. "Ms. Lan didn't bother with small talk. Have you seen the news yet?" "What news?" "On several business groups and news fan pages, people are sharing a clip of some market analyst. He says our company has lax management, and the CEO abandoned the office to run after his pregnant wife. I sent you the link via Zalo." Alex opened the link. A slick, overconfident voice poured out from the small screen. "In this agricultural niche, reputation is vital, but currently, foreign partners are buzzing with rumors that the young CEO is no longer focused on the factory and supply chain, but is busy taking care of his pregnant new wife back home. Orders are delayed, machinery is malfunctioning, and the head of the company is constantly checking in at his love farm." The caption under the burned clip reads, "CEO leaves office because wife is pregnant? Is the cassava flour company sinking?" Alex's jaw clenched so hard his teeth hurt. "Has someone leaked anything from our side?" he asked, his voice low. "I don't know yet," Ms. Lan replied. "But I guess it's not a leak, but rather a fabricated story. Sigma's partner and a former reporter who used to cover him are probably connected." Now the comments are split into two camps. One side is cursing, the other says it's someone's private matter. But clients are starting to inbox me directly asking about it. Alex exhaled slowly, eyes drifting back toward the doorway. Inside, through the thin gap, he could see Tu Na picking up Henry, kissing his forehead, her hand unconsciously resting on her still flat stomach. If this nonsense reached her, if she saw strangers cursing her online as Vo Moi, Tiu Tam, Jiao Mo CEO, how is that supposed to be trans stress? "For now, don't reply to anything," Alex said. "Just say I'm in a meeting and I'll call each important client back later. Take screenshots of those posts and save them. Don't share them anymore. If anyone in the company gets asked, just give one simple answer. The CEO is inspecting the factory and sourcing area. No additions, no subtractions." "Yes," Ms. Lan answered. "And what about the press?" "I'll call a lawyer. I'll see if there's enough evidence to sue for defamation. But I'll handle that. You just need to stay calm for everyone's sake. Absolutely do not say anything that touches on my private life and my family." He paused for a moment at the word family, realizing he had just blurted out something he had kept to himself for so long. After hanging up, Alex stood still under the eaves for a moment. Just a few years ago, he probably would have dived into reading every comment, explaining, justifying, or even arguing with the haters. But today, the doctor's advice echoed in his head. The most important thing now is to avoid stress. Not for you. The girl was folding small clothes inside the house, and the baby was giggling on the porch, hugging a wooden toy car. "Honey," Tu Na's voice called from inside, pulling him out of his thoughts. "Come in for lunch. I made sour soup for you, and give Henry some of the broth with his rice too." Alex pushed the door open and stepped inside, trying to force a smile back onto his face. "I'm coming in." The small house was filled with the aroma of sour fish soup and the warm steam of freshly cooked rice. Henry slammed his hand on the table, babbling, "Dad, Dad, Dad." Tu Na scooped the soup into a small bowl, blowing on it gently before giving it to her son. "What did the doctor say?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with worry, but also hope. "Is there anything to worry about?" Alex sat down opposite her, gazing intently at her face, a face accustomed to hardship, but still managing a gentle smile. The doctor said, "Our family is about to grow bigger," he whispered. Tu Na's eyes widened. The spoon in her hand froze. Henry quickly grabbed the bowl of soup, almost spilling it, causing both of them to quickly catch it. Laughter erupted simultaneously, breaking the tense moment. "Really?" she asked again, her voice trembling. "Are you sure?" "I've heard the baby's heartbeat, but I'm still not sure," Alex replied. But the doctor gave me some very serious instructions. Don't stress. Don't be sad. Don't overthink things. If you're feeling tired, tell me. From now on, I'll take care of you and the baby. Tu Na bit her lip, her eyes glistening. "You worry so much about me and our child. And what about the company, the contracts, the clients?" "I've been a CEO for years," Alex interrupted gently. "But I've only been a husband and a father for a few days. I want to do it properly this one time." The remark sounded like a joke, but there was an undeniable firmness in his voice. The afternoon passed peacefully. Alex took a short nap, then woke up and called a few close business partners, briefly explaining that the rumors were just dirty tricks by a competitor and that all contracts were still on schedule. Most of them believed him. Everyone knew he was the type to take his laptop out into the cassava field to sign contracts, not the kind to neglect his work. But bad news always has legs. As dusk approached, while Alex was checking the chicken coop in the back, the rusty gate creaked loudly. Henry, who was playing on the porch, ran out at the sound. Tu Na had just carried a basin of laundry up the steps and hadn't yet set it down. 3 figures appeared outside the gate. An elderly woman with a familiar gaze that Tu Na never wanted to see again. A middle-aged man, Huang An's uncle, and a young girl walking beside them, carrying a handbag, her eyes darting around as if assessing everything. Former mother-in-law, that family over there. Tim Tu Na felt like he had fallen to his heels. "Miss Tu Na?" Her voice rang out, cold as rainwater soaking through her clothes. "You turned off your phone, avoided my house. What's the meaning of that? I've come here properly today. You can't hide anymore. I've come to see my granddaughter." Henry clutched at his mother's dress, looking up with wide, bewildered eyes. Tu Na instinctively pulled her son closer, her hand tightening its grip on her stomach. The doctor's words came back as a warning. Absolutely avoid stress. Don't let anyone bother or pressure you. But the pressure, clearly, had crossed the bamboo gate, standing right in front of her, staring at the baby she was holding, as if it were property they had the right to reclaim at any time. And Alex was still in the backyard, completely unaware of anything. The world narrowed to the 3 figures at the gate. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Even the chickens seemed to hold their breath. "Mom," Tu Na finally managed, her voice dry. How did you know about this place?" "I wouldn't come asking for clarification if I knew," she replied, tilting her chin. "Do you think hiding in this dilapidated farmhouse will get you out of here? People are talking like crazy. Famous CEO abandons company, runs away to the countryside with his pregnant wife." How great. Each word fell like a stone. Tu Na froze, her heart pounding. She had tried to avoid the internet, tried to avoid hearing anything related to Alex, to the company, just to work, take care of Henry, mop the floor, cook meals. But it turned out the news had crept right to the bamboo gate. I don't know anything," she stammered. "Those things weren't my fault." The young woman accompanying her, Huang An's cousin, glanced at Tu Na from head to toe, a slight smirk on her lips. "Isn't it because of you that you're in the newspapers and online being called the CEO's new wife?" she said sarcastically. "You're so lucky." Henry didn't understand, but he sensed something strange. So he hugged his mother tightly, muttering, "Mom, Mom," as if asking what was happening. "What do you people want here?" Tu Na took a deep breath, recalling the doctor's words. "If you want to see Henry, you should at least speak politely. Choose a suitable time. Why does it have to be today?" "Today is just like any other day," the former mother-in-law sneered. "Except for one thing, today I saw it. She's living too comfortably. The CEO bought her land, renovated her house, provided her with a place to live, and paid for her food and education. She's my granddaughter, so why shouldn't I have the right to visit her? You're clinging to her so much. Are you planning to cut off all ties with this side of the family?" "My mother once kicked us both out of the house," Tu Na replied, her voice soft but clear. "That day, it rained so hard our clothes got soaked. She even said, 'Why bring another man's baby into my house? Now that Henry is safe and sound, I don't want him to hear those kinds of things again.'" Her face darkened slightly. The middle-aged man cleared his throat softly, trying to smooth things over. "Come on, why bring up the past? You were just angry for a moment. Now that the boy is grown up, it's only right to let his paternal relatives see him. Isn't it?" At that very moment, the sound of quick footsteps echoed from the chicken coop. Alex, his hands still covered in sawdust, appeared at the edge of the yard. "What's wrong, dear?" he asked, looking at the scene at the gate. Tu Na was hugging Henry, her face pale. 3 guests were standing, blocking the way. The former mother-in-law immediately composed herself, forcing a strained smile. "Ah, so this must be the famous Alex, huh? We saw his picture online, but now we finally get to see what he looks like in person." Alex stepped forward, instinctively shielding Tu Na with a slight wave of his hand. "Hello, Auntie. Hello, Uncle. Hello, Tu Na," he said politely, but without bowing too low. "What brings you all here today? If you can, let's be clear. My wife is pregnant, and the doctor advised her to avoid stress." The phrase, "my wife," made her frown noticeably. "Wife?" she repeated. "I remember on paper she's still Huang An's wife. Is the divorce finalized? What's the paperwork like? Or are you a CEO so you think you can just make someone your wife whenever you want?" Alex didn't shy away. "They've gone to court, and there's a divorce decree. I have the original upstairs. If you want to see it, I can make a photocopy and send it to you later. Today, if it's just to visit Henry, I can arrange it. But you shouldn't come and scare him like that. Panic?" My former mother-in-law chuckled dryly. "Go check the internet. People are saying you abandoned your company, your employees, and spend your days here with your new pregnant wife. She's not afraid. So why should the whole country be afraid for her?" When the topic of scandal came up, Alex immediately understood its source. Those rumors didn't just appear out of nowhere. Perhaps the people standing before him were among those adding fuel to the fire. His phone vibrated in his pocket again. It could be Ms. Lan, a client, a lawyer, but he didn't take it out. Not now. "Regarding company matters, I will handle them through proper channels," Alex said slowly. "As for those who slandered me, I will take legal action. But what's happening here is a family matter. You want to see Henry? Fine, but you must respect his mother. You must not pressure her, and you must not use the boy to force her to come back. I will not allow that to happen again." Her cousin pouted. "You talk big. Who do you think you are? You're just someone who interferes in other people's families. If you hadn't shown up, Huang An wouldn't be in this mess now. He's lost his house and is drowning in debt. You live comfortably like this. Don't you feel any remorse?" Alex looked straight at her. "I showed up when Tu Na and Henry were kicked out of their house, with nowhere to shelter from the rain. If you want to blame someone, you should ask, who was the one who kicked them out at that time?" The atmosphere grew heavy. Henry began to sniffle slightly, feeling tense. Tuna stroked his back, but her own palms were ice cold. "Mom," she whispered, "I'm pregnant. The doctor said I shouldn't stress. If you really want what's best for Henry, then let's talk less today. Let's not argue anymore. I'm not forbidding you from visiting your grandson. I just ask that you let Alex know in advance. Choose a suitable time. Don't show up unexpectedly like that." For a second, her gaze wavered. She looked down at the baby nuzzling his face against her shoulder, then up at Tu Na's pale face. Old memories flashed through her mind. The first time she held Henry when he was a newborn, the time she angrily pushed his hand away. A mixture of love and hatred. "Pregnant?" she asked softly, her voice softening slightly. "How many months pregnant are you?" "It's still too early," Alex answered for her. "The doctor just gave the instructions this morning, so I hope we can stop here today. You should rest, and when you're feeling better and calmer, I'll take Henry to the city to visit his grandparents. I'll keep my promise." The middle-aged man nodded hastily. "Okay, let's go home, ma'am. Standing in the sun any longer won't solve anything. Besides, he has his own life now anyway." Her cousin was about to say something more, but her uncle's glance made her swallow. Her former mother-in-law looked at Henry one last time. "He is my grandson," she said, her voice hoarse. "Remember this well. No matter where he lives in the future, he must know who his paternal relatives are." Alex nodded. "If my paternal relatives don't repeat the abduction attempt like last time, and if they don't use the boy to threaten his mother, then I will be the one to bring Henry to meet them. I promise." The mention of the kidnapping incident made her face turn pale. She spun around and pulled open the bamboo gate. The three of them silently left the yard, their footsteps crunching on the dry ground. The gate closed, the small bamboo latch clicking shut. Only then did Tu Na feel her head spinning. The moment Henry released her shoulder, her vision blurred. "Tu Na!" Alex rushed over, catching her as her knees buckled. Henry screamed in terror. Cold sweat beaded on her forehead, and her heart pounded. I'm fine," she said, but her voice was broken. Alex lifted her up, sat her down on the bed,
"My darling,
and pulled
I
a
have to
chair
go
for Henry
now."
to sit beside her.
I'll miss
He
you.
wiped her face with a wet towel, poured some warm water, feeling both scared and angry at himself for letting the confrontation drag on for so long. "Listen to me," Alex said sternly, but his hand still gently held hers. "From now on, if anyone comes here and makes you nervous, you don't need to deal with them. Stay inside with Henry. I'll go out and talk to them. This is our home. You don't have to confront anyone. But that's my former mother-in-law. I'm afraid if I don't go out, she'll say I'm disrespectful," Tu Na whispered. "Are you still afraid of my mother?" Alex asked. "Back then, my mother also opposed us, but we talked, explained, and got married properly. Now it's the same with them. It's not about you being disrespectful. It's about me needing to handle it properly. If they continue to pressure us, I'll work with the authorities, with the police. You don't have to be in the middle anymore. Understood?" Tears welled up, not from resentment, but because of the unexpected lifeline thrown to her amidst the storm. For the first time, Tuna felt she was no longer alone between the two families, the company, and public opinion. "And the scandal?" she asked softly. "What people are saying? Has it affected you a lot? Has it affected the company?" In this episode, Tuna has just found out she's pregnant with Alex's baby, and the doctor strictly warns her to avoid all stress. But peace doesn't last long. At the company, Alex is hit by a scandal as dirty competitors spread rumors that the CEO abandoned his office to chase after his newly pregnant wife. While he's busy trying to protect his reputation and his workers, another storm hits the farm. Tuna's ex-husband's family suddenly shows up, demanding to see Henry and pressuring her non-stop. Cornered between public gossip and private harassment, her fear quietly reaches breaking point.